Check the price of gasoline in your town this week. Whatever that number is, it was lower a few weeks ago. Regular gas in the United States went from $3.01 a gallon to $3.96 in 2 weeks this spring. Diesel jumped from $3.89 to $5.37 in the same 14 days. That is not a glitch. That is the front edge of something that has not finished arriving at your door yet. A narrow stretch of water called the Strait of Hormuz has been effectively shut since late February. Around 20% of the world's oil moves through it. So do the chemicals that quietly become your packaging, your fertilizer, your plastics, and half the cleaning products under your sink. Welcome to the Survival Research. If you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and the bell. This is where we dig up the numbers the people selling to you would rather you never run yourself. Here is the part nobody says out loud. The prices you see today are the cheap version. The shipment that was already on the water when this started is the one on the shelf right now. The next shipment costs more, and the one after that costs more again. So here is what a calm person does before the next wave lands. 9 things worth having on your shelf now, while the old inventory is still priced at the old number. Not because the world is ending, because the math already happened and the receipt is just slow to arrive. Item 1. Anything made of basic plastic and packaging. About 85% of the Middle East's polyethylene exports moved through the strait that is now closed. Polyethylene is the boring miracle hiding in trash bags, food storage bags, bottles, container lids, and the film wrapped around almost everything you buy. Stop for a second, because the 9 items in this video are only the surface. I pulled the full breakdown into one suppressed file, the exact products, the current price against the projected price by autumn, and the 3 categories almost nobody thinks to stock until the shelf is already empty. It is all in the suppressed file, step by step. Scan the QR code on your screen or hit the first link in the description and get it now. Let me keep going. When Qatar's largest gas plant stopped producing in early March, it stopped producing the polymers and methanol that feed exactly these products. The company told its buyers it could not fulfill its contracts and that recovery would take years. A box of freezer bags that costs $4 today gets quietly reformulated, downsized, or marked up. You will not get a warning. The price tag simply changes 1 week. Still watching? Then you already understand more about how this works than the people who will be standing in a panicked checkout line in September. Subscribe and share this with someone who still believes the price on the shelf is the real price. The full file is linked below. Scan the QR code on your screen or hit the first link in the description. Now stay with me, because the next items are the ones people forget. Buy the storage bags, the trash bags, the plastic wrap, the food containers now. This is the single cheapest insurance on this entire list. Item 2. Garbage bags, and contractor bags specifically. Same polyethylene story, but worse, because nobody stockpiles trash bags and every single household needs them. When sanitation gets expensive, the bag is the last thing you want to be rationing. A pack that is $6 now is the definition of buy it while it is still boring. Item 3. Over-the-counter medicine and the plastic it lives in. The blister packs, the bottles, the foil seals. All petrochemical derived, all exposed to the same feedstock squeeze. Pain relievers, antihistamines, antacids, the simple basics your family already reaches for. These have shelf lives measured in years. Stocking a year of what your household actually uses is not hoarding. It is just a pantry that thinks ahead. Item 4. Fertilizer, if you grow anything at all. This one is not a guess. Urea fertilizer rose nearly 50% in some markets within weeks of the closure. By mid-March, the United States fertilizer supply was running at roughly 75% of normal levels. Natural gas sets 70 to 90% of the cost of nitrogen fertilizer, and natural gas is exactly what stopped flowing through the Gulf. If you garden, a bag of fertilizer bought now at the old price is money you simply will not spend next spring. Item 5. Coffee, cooking oil, and shelf-stable staples that travel by sea. None of these are made from oil, but all of them ride on diesel. Tractors run on diesel, trucks run on diesel, cargo ships run on it. The United States Department of Agriculture nearly doubled its food at home price forecast for this year after the war began to above 3%. Rice, beans, canned protein, cooking oil, coffee, sugar, salt. The things that do not spoil and that you will absolutely use. Buy deep and buy now. Item 6. Aluminum foil and anything aluminum. Aluminum futures pushed past $3,000 a metric ton this year, the highest in nearly 4 years. The Gulf region supplies a meaningful share of the world's aluminum, and shipping it now costs more and is harder to ensure. Foil, cans, disposable trays, cheap today, quietly creeping upward later. Item 7. Detergent, soap, and cleaning supplies. The same methanol and polymer feedstocks that vanished from Qatar's output are the backbone of detergents and a long list of household cleaners. A year of laundry detergent and dish soap stored in a closet is a year of a rising price that you already locked out. Item 8, batteries and anything you charge. Battery production leans on shipping lanes and on minerals that are now more expensive to move and more expensive to insure. Flashlights are useless without them, and they are the first thing gone from the shelf when people finally notice the lights flicker. Item 9, pet food and the unglamorous essentials. Pet food rides the same diesel in the same grain markets as everything else, and almost nobody thinks about it until the bag is empty. Round it out with the quiet necessities. Toilet paper, toothpaste, the ordinary things you would feel foolish running out of. Now let me connect these, because they are not 9 separate problems. They are one problem wearing 9 costumes. Every item on this list traces back to 2 things: the fuel that moves it and the petrochemical feedstock that makes it, or its packaging. The strait closed, the feedstock slowed, the diesel climbed, and the cost is walking toward your shelf at the speed of the next shipment. The reason no one is telling you this in plain language is simple. There is no profit in calm preparation. There's enormous profit in the panic that comes later. Let me be honest about the limits here. This is not the end of the world, and I'm not telling you to empty your savings. Before the close, the full list with the projected autumn prices is pinned in the top comment, so check there next. A prolonged closure is forecast by some analysts to last into autumn, but a forecast is not a prophecy, and the strait could reopen sooner. This is not about fear. Do not buy a garage full of things you will never use. Do not go into debt for canned beans. Buy what your household genuinely consumes. A normal amount, bought a little early, at today's price instead of tomorrow's. So here is the actual choice in front of you. You can wait, pay the September number, and stand in the line with everyone else who waited. Or you can spend one ordinary shopping trip this week buying the things you were going to buy anyway before the receipt catches up to the news. The shipment is already on the water. The price is already decided. The only variable left is whether you bought before it landed. And if you want the next one before the shelves do, subscribe. The information was always there. They just made sure you would only find it after it was too late to matter.